Hey. Oh. Hello. You're at the campfire, and this is Strong and Courageous Facebook Live songs echoing God's grace in the COVID-19 chaos. So look, it's as we let our I won't be able to interact too much because I've got to sit here and everyone chatting is on the other side. But feel free to chat amongst yourselves, because that's one of the nice things that happened in the last fireside concert, is people had a bit of a chat between them. There was a lovely sense of community. I just want to dedicate this to our friends in Melbourne, because last time I did one of these, pretty much the whole of Australia was locked down. Certainly we were. And but now we know our friends in Melbourne, they're locked down, and we just want to remember them. So this is for you, Melbourne friends. All right. So let's see what happens. And I think I should start with the. No, actually, you know what? I'm going to start with this song. I've got a plan, and I would like to also just acknowledge that there's a couple of chums here, and the family. They're just probably not as close to the fire as they would like. This oilskin's going to bang on the guitar. It's like percussion. I'll take it off if I have to, you know. It's like, that's better. All right. By a fire. I think it's there's a big premise to this. There's lots of Christian songs, so be warned. But this is I think this song sets it up, because Jesus came to us outside the camp, not in the comfortable place, but in the place of fire and separation and sadness and suffering, dust and blood and stench, sickness and sadness. That's outside the camp. All right, here we go. Outside the camp, no one's cheering. You feel lonely and small. Out there, no one needs reminding. You're stuck outside the city wall. Life can dry up and blow away like that restless desert sand. Jesus, what do you think you're doing outside the camp? Outside the camp, you can smell it. Vultures picking at the bones. When the sky hints at the darkness, all the mockers run for home. Cast your lot and divide the spoils of this dying Son of Man. Jesus, what do you think you're doing outside the camp? Outside the camp, someone's laughing. It's a hideous disgrace, like a lamb led to the slaughter in this God-forsaken place. Hear the moans of the dying souls. They're begging for the end. Jesus, what do you think you're doing outside the camp. Outside the camp, see them coming. First a trickle, then a flow. They're hungry for forgiveness. Oh, they got nowhere else to go. Nowhere else to go. Grace is never cheap or easy. It puts nails in hands. Jesus knew what he was doing outside the camp. Jesus knew what he was doing outside the camp. Holy suffering in that place. There's pain and there's disgrace, and there's everlasting grace outside the camp. Outside the camp. Outside the camp, and that's where we sort of are. We're outside, at least, outside our house here in Sydney. And welcome everyone who's part of this. And I have a fire technician with me, who's responsible to keep this blaze blazing. And mate, you just keep it going. You occasionally will see Waz's hand creep into shot. We've got an admission to make, and that was petroleum products were used in the starting of this fire, which is a little un-Australian. Well, actually, or maybe it's very Australian. Yeah, but crank it up, Waz. I want you to feel that fire is what we want, and plenty of it. It's a little chilly here in Sydney tonight. Not. How are we going? And we're just checking to make sure that there's humans at the other end of that. How are we going, Sal? Yeah, she gave the silent thumbs up, which is perfect. I just feel like being at a campfire. I want to sing. These are songs of faith, and I want to sing a song about a faithful man. He's a man who got a diagnosis that wasn't particularly encouraging or positive, and he's got a bad ticker, his heart problems, and he's a surfer. He loves getting out in the surf, and he's been told it's not great. This plaque could really play up in his heart. But he's a man who faces hardship, just like, in a sense, we're all diagnosed at the moment, aren't we? Our communities, our nation, we're diagnosed with the problems of this virus, and I'm taking my lead from a guy like Les, who has always had the Lord's name on his lips. So this is a song called The Bishop of Burrill. First played to Les around a campfire. All right. Going up into the mountains and up into the hills. He's gonna saddle up the chestnut mare and let her take him where she will. He's gonna catch himself a fish or two and gather up some wood, like Wazzy's now. Sit beneath the messmates wondering how he ever got it so good. Somewhere out past Jadbro, out behind a mill, in his ironbark cathedral rides the Bishop of Burrill. Out past Jadbro, the bush behind a mill is ringing with the praises of the Bishop of Burrill. He's gonna do a lot of thinking. He'll take a bit of space, maybe let a bit of angry weather put him in his place. And on a swag under the moonlight, by the flicker of a fire, he's gonna marvel at the majesty of the one who names the stars, and knows that somewhere out past Jadbro, out behind Tamil, in his ironbark cathedral, rides the Bishop of Burrill. Out past Jadbro, the bush behind Tamil is ringing with the praises of the Bishop of Burrill. And on top of Caliana, he'll sing a simple prayer for the everlasting mercy of the God who put him there and who holds him in his care. Out past Jadbro, out behind Tamil, in his ironbark cathedral rides the Bishop of Burrill. Out past Jadbro, the bush behind Tamil is ringing with the praises of the Bishop of Burrill. And he goes, sing to the Lord, the Almighty, the King of creation. Oh, my soul, praise him, for he is my help and salvation. All ye who hear, now to his temple draw near, joining in glad adoration, out behind Tamil. The sound that you heard during that song was the sound of Roxy, the neighbour's dog, who was barking at Woz because he was traipsing around in the bush finding bits of stick. I asked if any of my chums wanted to come over. Woz and Sal said, yeah, I'd love to. And now he's walking around in complete darkness in the bush looking for sticks to put on the fire that he thought was my responsibility, that I was providing the fire. And that's not fair, Woz, not by anyone's standards. There is a little bit of stuff in the bucket here that... I don't know whether any of that will do any good, but yeah. But look, we'll do our best. Of course, you would have thought that Facebook would make it possible for a digital fire to be maybe a GIF. A GIF. All right, but why don't we? All right, I'm going to dedicate this one to Rachel. And I think I'll put it there tonight. I'll pop my plectrum down and we'll see. Okay. This is another song about someone who showed that the walk of faith is a walk of joy, and it's a walk that can lead into the valley of the shadow, and that's right where it led for Heather, and she walked that path with her family, a family of faith, with sadness and with heartache and with pain, but with joy, a joy that shines in the darkness. You see, faith smiles. Faith smiles. Faith smiles from a deep, deep place, starts in the heart, shapes the face, deals with me according to his mercy, and I'll be home in a little while. Faith smiles, faith smiles, faith laughs like a joyful child, safe, loved, undefiled, and wisdom knows the weight of pain and sadness, but heaven is its happy aftermath. Faith loves, faith loves, faith weeps at the mess of sin, real tears for the world we're in. Mercy leaves them overcome with wonder, moved by love so tender yet so deep. Faith weeps, faith weeps, when faith became her story. Her life was not her own. Jesus got the glory. Jesus called her home. She lived in grace. She ran the race. That's faith. Real faith. Faith sings with a love divine, shines bright in the darkest time. They sang around her bed as she lay dying, believing she'd be welcomed by her King. Faith sings, faith weeps, faith laughs, faith smiles. Faith smiles. Yes. All right. I spilt my little drink. That's all right. Just to prove this is unrehearsed. Although it's useful light relief when something bad happens to the talent. You know, they slip over or the guitar string breaks. So, all right. I want to sing a new song, which is why I've got my cheap notes here. And with hopefully I can operate this without drawing your attention to it, as I have just done. All right. This is a song about someone else who faced the hardship of life, and it's someone who we read about in the Bible. In 1 Samuel. 1 Samuel's a cracking book, and it kicks off with a sorry, I'm getting reminded things. It kicks off with a wonderful story, a heart-wrenching, touching story of a woman aching. And I will actually, I just thought I should, oh yeah, good. No, I'm just checking that my iPad doesn't ring while that would be unfortunate. I have put that on. Yeah, no, I have. Don't touch it. I've learnt with tech. Don't touch it. And all right, this is a new song from an album I'm working on at the moment. The album is called Old Testament Sing-Along, Colin's Old Testament Sing-Along. It's a children's album, but somehow this song seems to find a little bit more resonance across the ages. So this is a song called Hannah Prays. And this is the first time I've ever sung it publicly. I'm going to try and turn pages with my feet, which is a little bit like walking and chewing gum, near impossible. So, we'll see how it goes. Now a no one from the nowhere hills, The Israelite Elkanah had a wife named Hannah, a wife named Peninnah. Peninnah had children, but Hannah, she had none. And Hannah was downhearted at what the Lord had done. Hannah prays on her knees, Hannah weeps, Hannah pleads, God my rock, you do all things well. Well, Hannah went to Shiloh to worship and to pray. If you give me a son, oh God, he'll serve you all his days. Hannah, are you drunk on wine? Asked Eli the old priest. I was pouring out my soul to God, said Hannah in her grief. Hannah prays on her knees, Hannah weeps, Hannah pleads, God my rock, you do all things well. Well, the Lord remembered Hannah, and he granted her a son. Hannah kept her promise after all the Lord had done. She took her boy to Shiloh to serve God all his days. The mighty prophet Samuel led Israel in God's ways. Hannah prays on her knees, Hannah weeps, Hannah pleads, God my rock, you do all things well. Well, give the Lord your heartache, give the Lord your pain, give your life to Jesus, call upon his name. We can learn to trust in God and cast our every care. It's in the old story of Hannah and her prayer. Hannah prays on her knees, Hannah weeps, Hannah pleads, God my rock, you do all things well. God my rock, you do all things well. Good old Hannah. I want to say thank you to our minister Michael Dodsey, who preached on Hannah, and that was the inspiration for that song. So I'm very grateful for his sermon. Took us really deep into Hannah's story in 1 Samuel, and then took us up to the cross, to Christ, where the deepest yearnings that you find in the Old Testament are met, and then took us back to Hannah and her yearnings and said, well, we have yearnings too, don't we? And we need to do what Hannah did, which is trust her God. So that seemed like a good song to sing tonight. All right, let me sing one that, let me see, where does this one? It goes Capo 4 for those playing along. And thank you, everyone. Usually I like to just say a little cheerio. I can do a shout out to I've actually got an audience this time. Currently it's numbering 3 people, which and a dog. So I don't quite know what that does to the stats, but that's nice because I haven't done a gig with more than a very small group of humans for quite some time. So I'll take anyone I can get, and then don't feel like you're not a premium audience. You know, you're not just the only ones I could get. You know, like, although you are, as it turned out. Well, they're watching. There's a few in there. Hello in there. All right, let me do this one. I know people might be watching this who aren't believers, and very much these are songs of faith, and perhaps it's an opportunity if you're not someone with a Christian faith to just peek into the lives and the minds of those who do believe, and for me, the phrase "it all comes down to Jesus" is a good summary of the Christian faith, and so that's what this song's about. Well, if you don't see the valley, you'll never see the mountain. You won't get the sunrise unless you know the night. If you don't taste defeat, well, there'll be nothing sweet in victory. Gotta know there's danger to want to be alright. What the lost need the most is the way. What the fool needs the most is the truth. What the dead need the most is the life. And it all comes down to Jesus. Well, if you don't get the sickness, being well means nothing. You gotta smell the poverty to put wealthy in its place. You gotta know the sinner to even start to get the righteous. And if there's no room for judgment, there's no room left for grace. What the lost need the most is the way. What the fool needs the most is the truth. What the dead need the most is the life. And it all comes down to Jesus. Da 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 da. Well, if I had the virus, man, I'd want to know it. I'd want to see the smoke if those fires were rolling in. And if seeing all my wretchedness drives me to the Savior, well, I'm nowhere, I got nothing, I got no one else but Him, no one else but Him. What the lost need the most is the way. What the fool needs the most is the truth. What the dead need the most is the life. And it all comes down to Jesus. The most need the most is the way. What the fool needs the most is the truth. What the dead need the most is the life. And it all comes down to Jesus. Da, 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 Go Was is hovering to. There's a tiny bit of my drink left. Which I wonder, could I ask not Was, because poor Was has been running around in the bush putting. If you've only just joined us, Was is here. I could name the entire audience at the moment. Was and Sal, Laura and Tim. I'm going to work up, and when gigs finally come back, Robin's inside. I think she's doing the dishes, but she'll be back. And oh, thanks, Sal. I'm going to work up, and when gigs come back, I'm going to start with 4, and I'm going to name the audience. I'm going to keep naming the audience as the gigs get bigger and bigger, until the whole gig's just going to be me naming the audience. That won't be much of a gig, will it? All right. Now, where does this one go? This was Capo. Ashes falling on this. You are Colin Buchanan with you. I guess you'd know that. And this is Strong and Courageous, which is a bunch of songs I've chosen that I think fit this COVID time. COVID-19, as we're choosing to call it. Just any riff you can get out of this grim time, I think, is worth it. Okay, we're heading up to Cape 08. hold on to your hats. Usually that's very high, and I'm hoping this doesn't end in tears. All right. The subtitle of this little concert is "Songs Echoing God's Grace," and I thought the other side of grace is a song, actually, interestingly, oft requested when I was doing my At Home with Colin children's gigs, and requested by, I think, a 7 or 8 year old who really loves this song. And I would think of it as a fairly sort of, the ideas are fairly sophisticated in this tune, but it's, thank you very much, Sal. I wonder what's in it, though. Lovely. Sal, that water is delicious. All right. So this is about the miracle of faith. You see, a peek into the Christian faith is a peek into undeserved kindness to people who deserve the opposite of that. And that's what this song is about. The favour being from God. It's called The Other Side of Grace. I'm slow when I should act with haste. I'm quick when I should tarry. Weighed down when I am burdenless. At ease when I should carry. Waver when I should be firm. I'm harsh instead of tender. And when I'm called to stand my ground, how easily I wander. And yet the Father's love endures. He does not hide his face. Just like the day he rescued me, and on into eternity, this child will never, ever be the other side of grace. I whisper when I ought to shout. I shout when I should listen. My frail, relentless busyness is dwarfed by my omissions. I analyze instead of love. I judge when I should care. And oh, the shame of self-wordness in my neglect of prayer. And yet the Father's love endures. He does not hide his face. Just like the day he rescued me, and on into eternity, this child will never, ever be the other side of grace. He bled as I stood by and mocked, my single hope rejected. Gave no thought for God's pure wrath that Jesus' death deflected. And now though I be spirit-born and pledge myself to follow, still back I stray into the mire where once I used to wallow. Yet the Father's love endures. He does not hide his face. Just like the day he rescued me, and on into eternity, this child will never, ever be the other side of grace. This child will never, ever be the other side of grace. Nice singing that song. Haven't sung it for a while. And I wish I could remember my 9-year-old chum who really wanted to hear that song, but It's nice to sing it. All right. I want to sing a song. There's a couple of tunes I wanted to toss in tonight, and they're new tunes that I wrote during the lockdown and COVID season. So, look, hopefully, I'll do them justice. This is one that I did post a little earlier, and again, I've never performed this in public apart from I sort of wrote it, and 5 minutes later, posted it on Facebook, and then I've only sung it, a little bit since. So let's see what happens. Okay. Suddenly the world we knew turned upside down and inside out. Suddenly the plans we made went falling in a heap. Step by step from sea to sea, marching on relentlessly. A sudden silent battle and a foe too small to see. Oh, the height, oh, the depth. Every day, every breath, all the gifts we are given to have, to hold, may we cherish this moment together. Every number bears a name, all unique yet all the same. All of us a tangled tale that can't be pulled apart. One or two can start to sing. Is that Was getting wood again? I told him to use his secret ninja skills and don't disturb the dogs. That's all right, I'll keep singing. It's a backyard concert. Anything? No, that's all right. Maisie can stay out. Yeah. I told you, when things go wrong, it's like that's when they say that was the best part of the concert. Where you were singing that tender song about coronavirus, and the dog started barking, and was crunching through the bush behind you. Yeah. And currently Tim is holding Maisie, which is. So, like, it's about as close to affectionately. It's not affectionately. All right. I'll start this verse again. We'll see what happens. That's cool. You can put it down. That'll be fine. Yeah. Maisie and Roxy next door. I should mention Roxy since she's on the tape. There's Roxy next door and Maisie there. She's got on the tape, and it's quite a long song actually, as it's turned out, isn't it? You think so? No. Verse 2. Let's go verse 2. Every number bears a name, all unique yet all the same. All of us a tangled tale that can't be pulled apart. One or two can start to sing, and you hear that hopeful voices ring. Break the spell and see the treasure right before our eyes. Oh, the height. Every day, every breath, all the gifts we are given to have and to hold, may we cherish this moment together. Want to be a better soul, know the things I can't control, know the time for letting go, the time for holding on, know the love that took the dive and rose up from the other side, broke the chains that keep us all from gathering as one. Oh, the height, oh, the depth, every day, every breath. We are gifts that are given to have and to hold. May we cherish this moment together. We're the gifts that are given to have and to hold. May we cherish this moment together. New song featuring dogs. But there it is. While I'm current song, this is a song I did write a little while ago, and I found a place for it on my new album, which isn't out yet. I'm working on it as we speak, and I thought I would play it. What do you reckon? Walk by Faith. Yeah. So again, it's just really, it's nice to write a song. Or, I mean, nice isn't the best word, but I find songs bubble out from the experiences that you have, and it's good to write a song that reflects the experience of now, and it's really interesting to write a song about people who lived thousands of years ago, who had the same experience, the same compulsion, the same faith. So, okay, and I'm going to try and remember this from memory, which is the only way to remember things. So, all right, I'll have a little slurp. And thank you very much for joining us. The gathered thousands and the millions watching on the interweb. Yeah. I am David, just a shepherd boy, and I'm standing in the shadow of a giant. I am David, have no sword or spear, but I will not fear the proud or the defiant. I have just a sling and stone, but I'll never be alone. I'll walk by faith and not by sight, in your and in your light. When I'm weak, you are strong. I'll press on, I'll walk by faith. I am Samuel, in the darkness of the night I wake again and I can hear you calling. I am Joseph, my many-colored coat, not knowing yet the trials you have for me. And yet, like I dreamed you would, you'll work every trial for good. I'll walk by faith and not by sight, in your grace and in your light. When I'm weak, you are strong. I'll press on, I'll walk by faith. David, just a shepherd boy, and I'm standing in the shadow of a giant. Very good. That's and that was the quietest putting of a log on by my friend there. Do you have multiple ways you like to put logs on? Actually, why don't you come around, grab another one, and come right around and put it on so everyone can actually. Yeah. So this is was. Just talk us through it, mate. He's an engineer, so he knows what he's doing.
It's very important when you're putting a log on. You've got to get your hand as close as you can to the fire, but never admit that you're burnt. So you get it in as close as you can, and it really hurts, but you just don't let on.
Kids, don't try that at home.
Yes.
That's right. That's Was, the man with no eyebrows. For good reason. Well, there you go. Okay, I want to sing another song that I wrote during the COVID shutdown, lockdown period. So what do you reckon? Do it? Okay, why not? I mean, and it's different take on it. All right. Okay. I don't know how a text came through because I put it on Do Not Disturb. And Jeff Thompson, you should know better. You know, Daddy's working. Can't believe it. I might just text Colin. Hey, you got any two-stroke? I was thinking of mowing the lawn tomorrow. No. Okay. Lovely that you're watching Catechismo. Dear old Catechismo, a big hello to everyone watching in Nowra. Possibly only one person, but that's possibly two. I think Anne would be watching. Yeah, Anne would be watching. Okay, this is Silent Storm, because that's one of the strange things. There's no enemy in this fight, no clear enemy, and just how it all unfolded. Certainly, if you can't write a song about that, oh Jeff, stop texting me, and it dinged as well. And anyone else who's got my phone number, don't get the Mexican iMessage thing going here. You know, ding, 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 ding. No more, all right? It was funny the first time. All right. And this is a very new song, and so I've just got to try and remember it. The sun came up just like it does on every other day. We rolled into the normal and we headed on our way, singing Que Sera, Sera, my friend, what will be, will be. It was 9 o'clock and all was well as far as I could see. There was a big dark cloud, a silent storm, and it made no sound, and it marches on. You can act so strong, like there's nothing wrong, but the silent storm marches on. Oh, 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 oh. Well, we like to keep our distance when our wellness turns to woe. For the good life is a lover, and we hate to let her go. All our toing and our froing that always got us by got turned into a ghost town in the twinkling of an eye. There was a big dark cloud, a silent storm, and it made no sound, and it marches on. You can act so strong, like there's nothing wrong, but the silent storm marches on. Oh, 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 oh. Actually, the audience would do that. Oh, 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 oh. shadows and it's barely even there. Some huddle in their terror and some act like they don't care. But the deadly mist keeps rising and we can't do a thing unless the grave has been defeated and death has lost its sting. From that big dark cloud, that silent storm, and it makes no sound, and it marches on. You can act so strong, like there's nothing wrong, but the silent storm marches on. It takes a love so strong to right that wrong, till the silent storm is finally gone. We go, oh, 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 just the audience. It's hard when there's only 4 in the audience. I actually, 4? Yeah, we lost 5. Lost in the bush.
He's got his hand in ice.
Really? Oh, you actually? No. Oh, he's got his hand in ice, Robin said. I don't know what you heard. Have you got your hand in ice? He's Did I use the "don't try this at your house, try it at your friend's house" line? Don't try this at home, try it at your friend's house. That was ridiculous. Okay, that was. I hope you're not. He's not actually hurt, is he? No, he's fine. Which is code for yes, I am hurt. Got to keep half an eye on the time here because we don't want to run out of internet. Okay. Now where does the capo go on this one? It goes on number 7. Laura, do you remember the time? I'm addressing 25% of the audience at this point. Do you remember the time we were at the Katoomba Convention, and we sang "Lead Me," this song, and it was wasn't the Easter Convention. It was one of the other ones, and in August. Yeah, it was one in August, and Engage conference. Yeah. And I'd only recently recorded or written this song, and the band learnt it in the afternoon, and we sang it, and everyone just sang their lungs out. They'd never heard it before, and it was just one of the most amazing experiences. So I think a guy named Mark, who may well be watching, it'd be a shame if he isn't, but he did ask for this song, so I'm not playing a lot of requests. Thank you everyone for watching. Usually I like to look at the screen and just say, oh, really? That person's watching. Oh, hello? Really? From London? You're kidding me? Hello? But I'd have to walk over there. And I mean, I do have my iPad, but you saw what happened. People start texting when I just don't want to fiddle with it. Okay. Psalm 62. Lead me to the rock. Haven't the Psalms been a place where we found ourselves in this hardship, in difficult times? Beautiful. That is higher than I. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. You are my refuge. You are my tower. You heard me cry out in my dark darkest hours. I call out in weakness. You are my helper. You spread your mighty wings and give me shelter. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. Higher, deeper, purer, stronger, more beautiful, more wonderful than I. Higher, deeper, purer, stronger, more beautiful, more wonderful than I. And I want to praise you, mighty protector, and I long to dwell within your tent forever. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. Very good. Thank you for the applause across the world in your homes. It's sobering, isn't it, that there is a rock, and he's higher than I. He's higher than us. And I do marvel at the thought that there could be, which my mind isn't big enough to hold, an infinite God that is a knowable God. A God that's not constrained in any way, and yet I'm able to know him. And that sort of thought inhabits the Psalms, which they were still waiting back then for the Messiah, for God to take on flesh, to really sort of shrink down to a size that we could understand, I suppose, in a sense, and to walk that Calvary road to the cross. So the Psalms have been a place to really find great comfort. And a friend of mine from Singapore asked, would I write a song? Did I have any songs based on Psalm 139? And I sort of didn't, not in the way that he was hoping to use the song. So I wrote myself a tune and I sent it to my friends in Adam Road Presbyterian Church, to Joe, who may well be watching. Joe's a fine man, and I'm really blessed to have. I've got lots of families all over the world just from traveling to different churches, and certainly Adam Road is one of those families. And so every blessing on my friends in Singapore who may be watching, and I'm going to sing the song I wrote for Joe, and based on Psalm 139. Lord, you have searched me and know me. You And oh, when I rest and I rise, all the words that I've said, all the thoughts in my head, nothing is hid from your eyes. And you go behind and before me, from the sky to the depths of the sea. Search me, O God, look deep in my heart. You are precious, so precious to me. How marvelous are your thoughts about me. They even outnumber the sands. I was wondrously formed, and before I was born, you'd written my life in your plan. And you go behind and before me, from the sky to the depths of the sea. Search me, O God, look deep in my heart. You are precious, so precious to me. Search me, O God, look deep in my heart. You are precious, so precious to me. I found out when I posted that how much people love Psalm 139. It's a very popular, very popular psalm, great psalm of comfort. Well, now looking at the time, I don't want to outstay my welcome here because there's nothing worse than a, concert that lingers too long. But let me see. I've got my little list of songs here, so okay. This is one I think I should sing because it's a song about just what I mentioned before about God taking on flesh and walking among us, and that was actually hope walking among us, and historically, really. And we've recently been reading Acts, where you see the story, the book of Acts in the Bible, where Jesus has died and risen and ascended to heaven, and now it's the apostles who are taking this, the disciples, so they're taking this message and they're taking it to the world with power, with remarkable courage, and with lives that are being transformed. And that's the wonderful thing, that hope took on flesh, and that message is still bearing fruit in the lives of flesh and blood like you and me, and that Jesus is alive, and hope is found in him alone. And I think in the current situation, it's placed us all into a situation of crisis where things that we've the earthly props, the things that hold us up under normal life have become very shaky, and it's a time to look to our real hope, and so that's what the song is called, Real Hope. And here we go. Was a real birth in a real stable, in a real dusty Judean town, and a real mother nursed a precious baby, and a bunch of wide-eyed shepherds gathered round, and real angels sang glory Real hope was born that day. I bet all I have on Jesus. I will throw myself on him. For one who died a real death for real sin. I bet all I have on Jesus. And throughout eternity I'll marvel at the real hope my Savior won for me. It was a real life. He had real friends. He walked shoulder to shoulder with the lost. He wept real tears for the fallen ones, and he anguished over sin's dreadful cost. And on a real cross he cried, forgive them, as his real life drained away. I bet all I have on Jesus. I will throw myself on him, for the one who died a real death for real sin. I bet all I have on Jesus, and throughout eternity I will marvel at the real hope my Savior won for me. I have real fears, I do real sin, and I hurt the ones I cherish and adore. But the real mercy of the true and living God sees the filthy fallen purchased and restored. And I cry, my God, oh, fill me with a heart completely yours. I bet all I have on Jesus. I will throw myself on him, for the one who died a real death for real sin. I bet all I have on Jesus, and throughout eternity I will marvel at the real hope my Savior won. I will marvel at the real hope my Savior won for me. My Savior won it for me. Real hope. And what does that real hope look like in a crisis? Well, I write songs. That's probably obvious by now. I wanted to sing this song because this is a song for this time, and it's been oft requested, oft sung, and the person I wrote it for is actually here. I wonder who. How old are you now, Laura?
27.
27. Well, 27 minus 9, 17 years ago? 16. Yeah, see, my maths isn't real good.
18 years
Hang on. Matt was as an engineer, so surely his... Well, quite more than 10 years ago, I wrote this song for Laura after the distress. Not as we have now, this invisible, an enemy we can't see in a sense, the sickness. But this was a very visible enemy that was played over and over and over again on the television. And I guess a bit like what happened, what's happening now, it is something that can be distressing in the way that it's talked about and repeated, especially for kids. And the Psalms, Psalm 2 was a place that Laura and I went, and this was a song that resulted. And I've sung it at just about every children's concert I've done, almost since that time. and it's a song that just resonates very strongly with all ages, because it's the truth of God's kingship in the face of everything. Everything. You might have seen bad things happening on the TV news. You might be worrying about the world, wonder what'll happen to you. Put your trust in God alone, 'cause He's still sitting on His mighty throne. The Lord is King, He's gonna look after everything, everything. The Lord is King, He's gonna look after everything, every single thing in this world. 'Cause this is His world. You might get sad and wonder why there's so much pain, why we let the same mistakes happen over and over again. Our sinful ways will always fail, but God and His ways will prevail, because the Lord is King. He's gonna look after everything, everything. The Lord is King. He's gonna look after everything, every single thing in this world, 'cause this is His world. You kings, be wise, you rulers, hear the Lord's decree. He sees, He knows, He'll judge in fearsome majesty. Blessed are all who find their place in the shelter of His grace, because the Lord is King. He's gonna look after everything, everything. The Lord is King. He's gonna look after everything, everything. The Lord is King. He's gonna look after everything, everything. The Lord is King, and He never stops looking after everything, every single thing in this world, 'cause this is His world. He rules the world. Yeah, this is His world. Song for Laura. All right, I think it's time to pull stumps on this live Facebook event. Thank you so much for joining us, and I thought I should sing the song that from which this this little concert gets its name, and it's again, interestingly. It's not just because I'm doing an Old Testament album at the moment, but I really had my radar up, and this is a comfort that sort of finds its foundation in the book of Joshua, when Joshua had this task before him, following in the footsteps of Moses, and an impossible task, you would think. And the Lord said to him, "Be strong and courageous, have I not told you?" And He also said, "As I was with Moses, so I will be with you." And what a great promise, because I found myself at the end of Matthew where Jesus said, "Lo, I will be with you always, to the very end of the age." The presence of God is a treasure indeed, and it's a lasting treasure. So be strong and courageous wherever you find yourself now, and whatever is happening. And that's something I say to myself as well. Jesus has conquered it all. Thank you so much for joining me. All right, this is a good one to sing out aloud, even if you're at home on your own. Be strong and courageous, the Lord of the ages holds all His little ones safe by His side. Be strong and courageous, the Lord of the ages holds all His little ones save. Do not fear the fire. Do not fear the fire. Do not fear the waters. Do not fear the waters. Do not fear the thunder. Do not fear the thunder. Jesus has conquered them all. Be strong and courageous. The Lord of the ages holds all his little ones safe by his side. Be strong and courageous. The Lord of the ages holds all his little ones safe. Do not fear the darkness. Do not fear the darkness. Do not fear the sadness. Do not fear the sadness. Do not fear the sickness. Do not fear the sickness. Jesus has conquered them all. Be strong and courageous. The Lord of the ages holds all his little ones safe by his side. Be strong and courageous. The Lord of the ages holds all his little ones safe. Do not fear the enemy. Do not fear the enemy. Do not fear the poverty. Do not fear the poverty. Do not fear eternity. Do not fear eternity. Jesus has conquered them all. Be strong and courageous. The Lord of the ages holds all his little ones safe by his side. Be strong and courageous. The Lord of the ages holds all his little ones safe. He holds all his little ones safe. Let me pray. It's a great comfort to come before the God of creation, the Lord who flung the stars into the sky, who made the earth and all that's in it, and all that's seen and unseen. And we marvel that this is a God, although infinite, a high tower, someone who has no weakness, no fault, no failures, who is without shadow of a turning, who is righteous in his very being, who dwells in unapproachable light. Yet this is a God who reaches into history and who leads, who touches, who heals, who helps, who saves, who redeems, who bleeds, who dies, who is laid to rest, who rolls a stone aside, empties a grave, and who rises triumphant. And we thank you for the message of hope in Jesus Christ, hope in the COVID season, hope in every season, for it's appointed for people to live once and then to die, and there is a hope that is stronger than death. And so we look to Jesus, and I pray for my friends watching, some who are believers and some who aren't, young and old, in Australia and across the globe. You hold the whole world in your hands, and you are as close as a prayer. What a miracle, what a wonder, what a God, what grace. Thank you for the chance to sing around the fire and to be joined by my friends here and across the world. And pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Well, thank you everyone. And you know what? Last time when I finished the fireside, I think I got the most viewers while I just stood by the fire looking at it. It sort of spiked to like high numbers, and it was just so. If I tried that again, I think I put a log on, so it's become a bit of a trick. So. Back a bit so you can see a little bit more of what's here. But can't go back too far. And here's the crew. There's Robin. Oh, yeah, you move in a little bit. That's it. Come on in. Come on in. Hang on, I'll do a little pan. Come on in. Jimmy, Laura, in the house. They're very dark. That's all right. And Robine's over there. and there's Sam. Sorry, Sal. I was concentrating. What's your name again? Oh, that's right. I've lost her. Just lost her. Sorry, people. And now I'm going to put a log on the fire and cement my place. Sorry, Robin. Cement my place in social media history. Thank you so much, everyone. Well, there you have it. Well, that's it. Now this is post-show banter time.
You said Dad, when Tim was out of shot holding Maisie, you can put her down now.
Oh,
I think it was interpreted in
I
multiple
think it was
ways.
interpreted differently.
I see. Just that was off mic, but Tim was holding the dog, and I said, "Oh, you can put her down now." I didn't mean, yeah. Hey.
Mum's leaving.
I'm getting text now. You know who I just got a text from? The chairman of the Gospel Coalition. If that isn't the peanut gallery, Gary Miller, shame on you. Can't you see we're still finishing? Classic. So, Robin, do you want to call out? Is anyone saying hello? And I'll respond. You call it out, and I'll.
Linda Waters said hello.
Hello, Linda.
Leah Ham.
Leah. Hello, Leah.
And Les and Dot.
Oh, Les and Dot Pfeiffer are watching.
Hannah
Always.
Zhang.
Hannah. Hello, Hannah.
David Wilcox.
David Wilcox. Hello, David from Toowoomba.
Lisa Miller.
Lisa Miller, of Lisa Miller fame. Anyone else? Yeah, come on, Robin. This is social media. This is what we do.
Oh, David Wilcox is saying hello to me now.
Oh, David.
Oh, Olivia Renew from Dubai.
Oh, hello, my friends in Dubai. I wonder if you're a part of the Redeemer crew or Church of the Emirates. Hello.
John Baldwin is watching.
John is. Oh, gee, I tell you, he'd go well by the fireside, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Bring your ukulele along.
Melanie Williams from Dubbo.
Melanie Williams from Dubbo. And hello, everyone in the Central West. That's good to have your company. Thank you for joining us.
Carly Kennedy.
No way, Carly Kennedy. I can't believe there's people who could have just come to my yard and they live in the next suburb.
Brian Barker says he came for Colin but stayed for Was.
Waz's brother, okay, has just sent a text saying he came for Colin but stayed for Was. So Was has become a little bit of a fixture in this.
And Birdman says hi.
Oh, and Birdman says hello. That sounds like a Bovis might have been... and Alexander.
Olivia said yes, she's from Redeemer in Dubai.
Oh, Olivia's from Redeemer.
Yes.
Hello to all my Redeemer friends, and God bless you. Yeah, wow, quite different. We were all flying through
Vivian
Dubai.
Fox.
Olivia?
Joanna Mary from Yass.
Oh, hello from Yass. Yass. Be cold down there.
This is my favourite bit.
This is Laura's favourite bit. She's just come alive with the shout-outs. It is quite...
Jen Vickers. Yay, and she says hello to Sally Ann and Was too.
Hang on. It turns out that pretty much only people I know who live within 10 kilometres, apart from the Dubai crew.
Robin Rose said hello.
Oh, Robin. Hello,
Simone
Robin.
Hargreaves
And Paul.
said hello.
Simone who?
Simone Hargrave.
Oh, Simone. Hello,
Steve
Simone and
Lister,
Tom.
Rachel Winchurch.
Steve, the listers. Hello.
Zach Harold.
Oh, good on you, Zach. Yep. Zach's a gun on the
wants to know
keyboard. I
when
know.
we're gonna open
Don't answer. You don't answer one of Zach's questions because once you start, Zach is unstoppable. Now I know this. I've read comments. I don't know much about social media, but I know that much.
Olivia Renew from Dubai said you met a mum in Kiama Carols.
Ah, very good.
Beck
Okay.
Alley from Port Macquarie.
Port Mac. Got a connection to Port Mac.
Andrew Gibbons.
Yep. Hello,
Steve
Andrew.
Maynard.
Steve Maynard. Hello,
Young
Steve.
guy.
Did you?
Janice Whittingham has said twice, you better say hi to the Boardmans.
I don't like. Do you like bossy people on social media? You better. Or what? Come on, come and get me.
Thanks me for the commentary. He's really enjoying it.
Oh, okay. So people are appreciating Robin's commentary too, which is nice. And she's
Verna
currently.
wants to meet Robin.
Well, I could do a little sort of Anglican church style interview with you, Robin, if you like to come and.
That's all right.
If you'd like Robin to be interviewed now.
Hannah's saying hello from Melbourne lockdown.
Hello, yeah. I dedicated this concert to my Melbourne friends, so God bless all the Melbourne
Catherine
people.
Green can hear Laura's laugh.
Yeah, of course you can hear Laura's laugh, Kath. Yeah, that's nice. This is, yeah, Facebook are going to say, look, we'll need to start charging you. This is not content. This is just...
Oh, someone's from Aberdeen and Edinburgh, Scotland. Woo!
Yay, Scotland. Hello. I wonder if any of my friends from the Isle of Skye and the people from Harris, they might be watching too. Or they might just have more important things to do because it's daytime now.
Mark
So.
Kennedy says your viewer spike is falling now.
I've just been told by a friend that my viewer spike is falling because nothing's happening now. So I think we should, we can rely on Mark to give us good pastoral advice. And I think it is time to press the finish button on this. So thanks, everyone. Wise words. And we're going to just, have a little linger by the fire. You know what to do?